Well, hello YouTube friends, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to cut in the two hatches here behind me. I got Candace to help us today. She's going to lay it out for us. And we're going to set them and cut our holes in our front deck here. So if you're wondering what the broom and the drill bit box is, that is our mock-up trolling motor. We don't have our trolling motor just yet, so, you know, poor man ways, I guess. But these little small skiffs have little narrow front decks, and there's going to be a issue here with it hitting. I've looked at videos on the internet, and I'll see where they hit. It just is what it is. It's what we have to work with. So we have these Temperis glass-lined hatches we're going to install. We're going to put two of them here in the front. And okay, so what we're doing is we're going to line up. Here's the center line of the bow of the boat, and Candace has measured across the bow on the backside from gunnel to gunnel, and it's 70 1/2 inch. So when our center line's here, we're going to make a mark at 35 1/4 over here, and then that's going to give us the center of our bow area up here. So we said 35 1/4, and right there. Now we're gonna go from this line all the way back up to this front line, and we're gonna scribe a mark, and that's gonna give us the center between our gunnels on the front, and then we can set our hatches working off of that. That way we don't get these things in here goofy and get them off center.
When?
All right, so I got a piece of steel. This is the longest thing I had that was straight. You could use a 2x4, but we all know most of them aren't straight. I got my line here and there lined up. And I know my hatches are gonna be in this area somewhere, so I'm just draw a line like so. And there you go. So now we got our line drawn. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out how far from the edge forward we're gonna set our hatch. But bear in mind, this boat has about a 2-inch overhang, and there's the front bulkhead right here. So we wanna make sure that we don't get into the bulkhead. We gotta be further above the bulkhead when we set the high and low of the hatch here. 9 1/2 inches.
When?
All right, so we have our center line now on our front deck. We know that's half and this is half. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna index our boxes, hatches up. And we figure right at 9 inches from the edge to where the hatch is gonna go at the lowest point. So what we'll do is we'll come in here, and on this quadrant we'll mark 9 inches. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here, if you follow me around. Okay. And then we'll mark 9 inches with this guy right here. And then what we're gonna do is we'll take our straight edge here and we'll move him around. And we'll draw a line across in here somewhere on this side and on that side. So now what we're doing is we're setting our elevation, just what we did here for our boxes. We know that, can you see, this edge here is gonna land on this line. And the next thing we're gonna do is set our side to side. And we have a template that comes with these hatches, which makes it really nice. Once we figure out what our side to side is, we can set our template. And this comes from the manufacturer. And we can tape it down, we can drill our holes and trace it out. And that gives us the exact fit for the opening of that hatch. That way we're not guessing. So now we're gonna figure out what our side to side is gonna be, and we're gonna draw a line up. Okay, we got our front position where we want the hatch. The other thing is we set it along the side here. We left about an inch. That way, if this guy's ever open and this boat ever gets a dock, it won't hit this edge and break it. So what we did is we drew our line here, which is the distance from front or the back of the bulkhead towards the front of the boat. Same over there. We worked off our center lines. And then we decided, well, we want about an inch. So we line up our edge here and there. And we just eyeballed about an inch here. We made a mark here, and we made a mark here. So that gives us 2 points. We got a back and a side. Now we can lay out with our template and we can cut the hole. So we're gonna take and draw. We have a template here they gave us. And we'll set the back right there on that parallel edge to that, and the side. I know it's not exact, but I'll tape it down. And then we'll draw our square. Just give you a reference of where we are. We'll draw our square, and then we'll come in and drill our holes and we'll cut it out. So let's lay this guy out, and we'll draw it, and then we'll cut it out. Okay, so what we did, here's the layout using the template. And all we did was, like I said, we used our reference marks off our center line, here to here and here. And they give you a template. I'm not gonna get it exactly close, but I'll get it pretty much where we drew from. All right, so that guy sat like that, and we took a piece of flat bar, a piece of 1.25 inch flat bar, use it as our straight edge, and we drew along the edge all the way around all 4 axis points. And then that gave us our square, and it says it's 14 5/8 on the sides and 10 5/8, which we measured 14 5/8, 10 5/8. Now we're gonna duplicate this on the other side, and then we'll cut the holes. Okay, so we got our 2 hatches laid out. We checked all our side X's, X measures, make sure it's square. From the center to the edge is good on both sides. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we got a 1-inch hole saw, and we're gonna stake on the inside of our angles, our corners, not on the outside, the inside. And we're gonna get it there and there. And what we're gonna use this for, this will be a pilot hole for us to start for our blade when we use our jigsaw to cut this out. Let's go ahead and drill it in real quick. I stop about halfway and I dig this puck out. Just keeps from clogging my drill bit up. Now we're gonna go all the way through with it. All right, we're gonna do that on all 4 corners. And I'm not gonna bore you with a bunch of videos drilling. Let me knock all these 4 out, and then we're gonna cut these hatches out. Oh, now one thing I want to explain to you real quick, when you pry these guys out like we're doing, be sure and pry away from the surface area you're wanting to keep. What I mean is you don't want to pry on this side and bend this down, because that's the area you want to keep. This piece is going to be trashed inside the square, so we'll pry on this side and damage this area here, this area, not the area that we want to keep. Just a little quick tip. Okay, we got our 4 holes drilled at our corners. Candace took care of that side. I did this side. Of course, hers looks better. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so here's the next thing. We're going to take our jigsaw and we're going to follow. That's where you're going to put the holes in. You can take a brand new blade. Make sure your flat blade is flat plate is on 0. And what I mean is this thing can angle side to side. Make sure it's 90. We don't want a goofy cut. Brand new blade, it's a wood blade. It's made for cutting this 3/4 inch in fiberglass. We're gonna go from here to here to here to there. Drop him out. Same on that side over there. All right. Oh, just should have told you this before you started. If you have a boat that's already built, be sure before you cut through any of these openings, you're not going to cut through any wiring, any major bulkheads, any plumbing that may be already there. I put this deck on and I knew there was nothing underneath of it but the floor pan and the bottom of the boat. So just FYI, be sure if you're ever going to cut into a boat, do your due diligence and check and make sure what you're cutting through, you're not going to cause yourself a big problem. All right, let's see what we did here. If Candace measured right, this should fit. Wow, look at that. And that's just what we wanted. And that template leaves you about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 inch all the way around to play with to move your hatch. So that's all there is to it. We're going to cut the other side. And then we'll be wrapping this job up.
Why is it a different way? I don't want anybody to see my dirty little toes.
You're fine. You did it. Hey, you just cut a big hole in your boat. You know that, right?
Yeah.
God, I hope you measured right. Yeah. Dang, if not.
We gotta see if it fits. I gotta get this corner though.
All right. See if we can see the edge up. What do you think? Think it would turn out good?
It's gonna turn out great.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all watching this today. Please like and subscribe if you like our video. Hit the bell. That way you'll get notified when we punch in a new video. We're trying to knock these videos out. We're trying to get this boat done before it gets too cold here in Texas. We're about a month away from cold weather. And what we're doing is trying to get this deck gel coated and webbed in the next week. And then we'll be so far along on this boat at that point. Now she's just gonna clean up the corners real quick with a little paddle wheel. Go ahead. On a little grinder. And that's all you gotta do.
to get this one, Heather?
All right.
I like it. Here we go.
Moment of truth. Hey, it fits.
Ta-da.
Look at there. Perfect. All right. Just what we needed.
Good. This is nice.
Good fit, guys. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. And hit that bell. You can clean all this up in here and get ready to do the outside.
This is great.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Bye.